Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Monday, the 26th of April, and I hope you're having a wonderful long weekend. Hi, I'm Paul, I'll be your host this morning. In the news today, we'll bring up speed with the cricket, as we both have test match action and the IPL. We've got the NRL games from the weekend, rugby, obviously with the Super Rugby in action. We had the A-League in football, as well as the Phoenix got themselves a win. The NBA and the NBL in basketball, as well as the round 2 of the ANZ Premiership netball. And then we've also got golf action to round up, as well as cycling, as we had the third monument of the year. This is your best way to start the day with all of the important sports news. And I apologise straight up, folks, for missing Saturday and Sunday. Was away from the and didn't have access to internet or good enough internet to bring you the shows. But we are back. Don't you worry. Let's kick off then with the cycling. It was Liège-Bastogne-Liège at the weekend for both the men's and the women's events. And I say this is the third monument of the year after Milan-San Remo and also I've gone blank as to the second one. Sorry, folks. With Paris-Roubaix has been delayed due to COVID, which this was normally the fourth one of the year. Both races, both men's and women's races, both finished in similar style, with small groups getting a break away and then actually going to the line. In the men's race, the Tour de France champion Tadej Pogačar won that one, beating Julian Alaphilippe in the sprint. And in the women's one, I say, finished in similar style, with a small group making it to the line, with Demi Vollering winning that race ahead of Annemiek van Vleuten in that one. So congratulations to both of those in that one. A very hilly race, very different style to the previous monuments of the year, which I have the different Pogačar and Roglic, the other the stage race expert who won it last year. In that one, in both last year and this year, Julian Alaphilippe, the Frenchman, became second in those sprints. So yes, he'll be kicking himself for missing out yet again. Moving on then to the golf, and in the LPGA, it was the Hugel Earl Premier LA Open, and Lydia Ko, coming off the back of winning the previous event on the Women's Tour, had a tough time of it, missing the cut this weekend at 4 over par. The winner was Henderson from Canada, who finished at 16 under par, one shot clear of Korda in that one. On the European Tour, the South African Higo won the Gran Canaria Open at 25 under par, 3 shots clear of the field, and that gets you up to speed with the with the golf at the moment. Heading over then to the NBA, and obviously a lot of action over the weekend. Some of the key games or key results saw the Mavericks beat the Lakers 108-93. The Nuggets getting a good win over the Rockets 129-116, as well as the Bucks beating the 76ers 132-94. That's a key one there in the East. Yesterday, also the Pelicans were in action against the Spurs, Steven Adams' team there, and the Spurs came out strong, winning the first quarter 31-24 and then 30-28 to take a good 9-point lead at halftime. We saw a bit of a comeback from the Pelicans in the third quarter, winning on 32-24, but they got edged out, losing by just 2 points, 108 to 110 in that one. Williamson with 33 points, Brandon Ingram with 24, and Lonzo Ball with 24 did all the scoring for the Pelicans. Steven Adams got 10 rebounds and 4 points. Zion Williamson got a double-double with 14 rebounds as well as his 33 points in that one. Over in the NBL then, on Friday, the Breakers took on the Taipans in a battle at the bottom of the table, and the Taipans edged it out 70 to 68 in that one. The Breakers are back in action today against the 36ers. Looking at the table, then the Breakers are still in 8th place, just ahead of the Taipans. Both sides have won 7 games, but the Breakers have lost less games, which keeps them above them in that one. So I forgot to give you the NBA tables. So just to very quickly have a looking at the NBA tables over in the East. The Nets are ahead of the 76ers and the Bucks in that one. The 76ers on a 4-game losing streak there, so even though I'm still in 2nd place. Over on the western side, the Jazz lead the Suns and the Clippers. The Clippers on a bit of a charge on a 4-game winning streak on that side of things. Let's have a quick look at the cricket then. And we had that test match between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Bangladesh made a good start in that first innings, ending up with 541 for 7 declared, being led by Shanto with 163, as well as Hack scoring 127 in that one. In reply, Sri Lanka scored 648 for 8 declared, being led by their captain, Karantane, with 244, and the key partnership was with Silva, who scored 166. They took them aside from 3 for 190 to 4 for 535, and that really meant the game. That partnership meant the game was always going to end in a draw. Bangladesh, in their second innings, scored 100 for 2 before the time ran out. Over in the IPL, and Carl Jeminson's team have been in action yet again. The Rajasthan Royals took on the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Rajasthan Royals went into bat first, had a collapse at the top of the innings, was saved by 46 from Dubey and off 32 balls, and 40 off 23 balls for Tuatai, as Carl Jamieson took 1 wicket for 28 runs, but the leading bowlers were Patel, who took 3 for 47 runs, and Sarge, who took 3 for 27 in that one. In reply, the Royal Challengers Bangalore scored the 181 they needed off 16 and a half overs, with for the loss of no wickets. Kohli scoring 72, and Paddy Carl scoring 101. So Carl Jamieson will be able to sit in the pavilion and watch those two win the game with 21 balls remaining. So a comfortable win there for the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Moving on then to the A-League, and coming off the back of that draw on Thursday, with the Wellington Phoenix drawing with Western United, and seeing probably their finals hopes going out the window. But the Wellington Phoenix kept those hopes alive, beating Adelaide 2-1 to climb to 6th in the table. So just in those finals, but they have played 3 more games than Western United, who are just 2 points behind them, and 4 more games than Brisbane United, who are Western United 1 point behind them, and Brisbane are 2 points behind them. So whilst they're in that place, they are holding them. They've got the teams who have got games in hand over them. This came down to a stoppage time goal with a penalty in stoppage time to win the game. Tom Hamed, scored that one after we had 4 goals in 4 games now. Was for the youngster. I've just gone blank as to his name. Sorry, Ben Waine. That's right. 4 goals from 4 games to as well to help the Phoenix to 2-1 victory there and keep their slim playoff hopes still alive. Over in the NRL, and the Warriors were comfortably beaten by the Storm with 42-20 in that one. The Sea Eagles beat the West Tigers 40-6 on a bit of a run now after losing their opening games, but now on a run of good games there. Do join the Standoff show on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. where we'll go through all of the results. Looking at the table, the Panthers still top as the only team that won 7 games out of 7 there. The Warriors in 9, just outside of those the top 8, which is obviously the all-important finals places. The Sea Eagles now also up to also on 6 points after losing their opening 4 games, have won 3 on the bounce now. So Manly Sea Eagles have certainly turned things around there. In the rugby, and the Blues were up against the Crusaders yesterday after the Chiefs had beaten the Hurricanes with a late kick from Dane McKenzie. Another narrow win for the Chiefs. It all came down to the Blues versus the Crusaders. Could the Blues get the win and keep their finals hopes alive? That wasn't to be. Crusaders with a comfortable 29-6 win over the Blues. The Blues just not being able to take their chances at all, whereas the Crusaders did in that one. So the Crusaders will play the Chiefs in the final in 2 weeks' time. The Chiefs will go up to Eden Park to play the Blues next weekend. Over in Australia, and we already knew the Reds would be hosting the final. The only question is who would be facing facing Canberra in the preliminary final. Would it be the Force or the Rebels? The Force got an upset win over the Reds, the first loss that the Reds have had this season, winning that one 30-27 despite 4 yellow cards in that game to book their place against the Canberra in the preliminary final. The Waratahs looking for their only win of the season, but came up short, losing to the Rebels 25-36, 2 red cards and a yellow card in that one as well. So a lot of cards in the Super Rugby AU this weekend. You have now started the day the best way up to speed with all the important sports news. I'll be back here at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning with the morning sports briefing. And we'll also be here tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. with the Driving Wall Show. So do join us for all of that. Also, check out the New Zealand Sports Radio Facebook page. We've got lots of videos from Club Rugby that myself and Stephen Harris got to over the weekend.